Hello and welcome again to Battle Ready. Well, normally we talk about Warhammer and the things we love about the game or the models or the hobby in general, but this week we had a chance to branch out, actually a couple weeks ago, we had a chance to branch out a little bit. And it was Halloween here in the States, and we got to dress up and in costumes. And Drake, what did you want to be for Halloween?
I wanted to be a Kruleboy.
A Kruleboy. So show him the shield. We created our own scare shield, and Drake was a Gutrippa for Halloween.
We created a shield, we created a spear, and we created the whole outfit that they wear.
Right, and I'll put some of the pictures up so people can see what you looked like and everything that went on there. So why did you want to be a Gutrippa?
Well, now that I was actually playing Warhammer and I liked it a lot, I just wanted to. It seemed fun.
It did seem fun, but is there any reason you wanted to be a Gutrippa rather than, a ninja or an elf or a Harry Potter person or anything else that you could have been?
One reason was because that a lot of people do those things, and I just like to do something new.
You want to be a little bit different?
Yes.
So sometimes not everybody recognized the Gutrippa nature. I don't think anybody knew you were a Gutrippa.
No. I have a long history of choosing something people don't know.
That is true. You do like to be unique. He was Zomboss one year. He was Cthulhu one year. So he does like to do things that are a little bit different. Doesn't bother you that people don't always know who you are?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. So how did you like being a Gutrippa? Well, first let's talk about making the costume. So how did you make it?
What we did was we got some...
And when you say we, who are you talking about?
Me and my mom.
That's right. So my wife is a crafty-ish person. She's a very crafty person. She's never made something like this before, which is really cool to see her do. But why don't you talk a little bit about how you made it? Because I had very little involvement.
So what we did was we went to Target, I think.
Well, I think you went to Michael's, but any hobby store.
Mm-hmm. And we got a giant roll of foam, molding clay, and paint. And so what we did was all the stuff that's above the scare shield level is molding clay. And the scare shield itself was made out of foam. And the way we rounded it was, Mom, I think, got like a really hot, like heated up a bowl or something really hot. And she put it on this. So it used to be flat level, but she did this all the way around so that it's kind of like bent back a little to look like an actual shield.
Cool. Who painted it up?
Me and my mom.
Very cool. Which parts did you paint?
My mom did most of the red and the pink, I think. But I did all the silver and the eyes, I'm pretty sure.
And the eyes. It's looking pretty good.
I also did the back of the scare shield. These two bits are made out of foam.
Yep, and they are coolly, but not so coolly for me, Drake-sized. So they fit on you pretty good, yeah. But I couldn't play with the scare shield.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately for me. So that's been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What did you like? Did you enjoy the building process?
I enjoyed the building process a lot.
What did you like about it?
I just like seeing the scare shield come together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's sort of how I feel when I build the models. I like to see the different pieces come together.
I'm the exact opposite with you. For me, it's just looking at a gray thing.
Yeah, I know you don't like building as much. I'm just saying that same feeling is the same sort of feeling I get. Well, that's cool. So one thing we'll add in here is we'll show the scare tactics that you employed. And the full costume, he had a pauldron, he had
leather version of the pauldron.
Leather stuff, or full leather. But it was looking pretty good. But this, for anybody out there who's interested in, either Halloween for next year or cosplay or anything like that, what would you give them any tips or any advice? Things that worked, things that didn't work, things that you would do different next time?
I'm going to give them some advice on how you do this, how you put this on.
The eyes?
Not the eyes, like all the molding clay parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Play-Doh, but what you do is we put on an eye, and then you paint water where the eye is gonna go, and then you put the eye there, and it takes 24 hours to dry, but then it's sticking there. Now you can rip it off. It's not like metal.
So you didn't glue anything down, you used
No.
water.
You use water. Water. So that's why it's so good.
And you found that worked pretty good?
Yeah.
Very cool. Were there any things that were difficult and you might want to try to do differently next time?
One thing we actually had several issues with was the handles.
Oh yeah? How'd that work out?
One time when I tried to put it on, this whole thing just went funk. Because we had to super glue it on.
So the handles you did have to super glue.
Yeah, that's the only thing we glue. Everything else was bought and handmade.
Very cool. Well, I hope you had fun on Halloween.
Yes.
You liked being a cruel boy?
Yes.
Very cool. Well, hopefully, from my perspective, especially as the dad, this was really cool to see Drake just embrace the world of Warhammer and really see parts of it come to life. It shows that the lore and the world, the Warhammer world, really can inspire. And did you do this, in like an afternoon, a couple hours?
No.
How long did it take you?
It actually took us a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks.
We couldn't even do it in an afternoon, a couple hours, because once you put this on, it takes 24 hours to dry.
Yep.
And we had to do like 3 or 4 layers of primer, and that takes an hour to dry.
How come you had to do so many primer layers?
I'm not quite sure, but I think it's because this paint isn't model paint, it's acrylic.
Well, model paints are acrylic.
Oh, really?
I think it's because the foam, the first layer or so of the primer sort of sunk into the foam,
Oh,
and
you're
it wouldn't have
right.
been so good. So you had to get a couple of layers on there before it would really, allow new paint to adhere to it. But even though it took a long time, it was worth it.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was certainly worth it to see my kid get excited about it and jazzed. And I think the final product worked really well and certainly got us a lot of candy.
Yes. Although there was one problem because I had the shield in this hand and the spear in this hand. So what I'd do is I'd have to put the spear right here so I could hold the candy bag.
You needed a third hand.
Yeah, I needed the third hand. I needed to be
You could just put the candy bag like on your toes, maybe. Maybe that would have worked.
hop on one foot.
There you go. Well, hopefully this has been good, and it just goes to show the ways in which it can inspire, especially young kids, to use their imaginations, to start in on a world of crafting. And from my perspective, it's been all positive. Well, thank you so much for watching. This has been Battle Ready.